Low, chipping that one in, away by Mark Brown. Now Caban. Tredenick. Colagiuri available on that far side. Terry Butler seems to have pushed forward as he's not moving too well, but this is Colagiuri and a good run from the youngster. And what a goal! Vince Colagiuri. He started that inside his own half. And what a goal from the youngster who's come on as a substitute and has scored the all-important goal 6 minutes into the first period of extra time. He started that inside his own half, faced there by Mariani. He gets past him, gets past Tony Henderson, away from John Spanos, and look at this for finishing. Giving Bruce James no chance and giving us this scoreline. Marconi 1, Leichhardt 2, 96 minutes and this match has gone.
Well, Italian-born or not, Bundala was to make a mark on the game later, but nowhere near as deep a mark as a young man with very much an Italian name, Vince Colagiuri, who inside 3 minutes had the home side in a 1-0 lead. That goal needed perhaps a little luck, but not the second, when Colagiuri again embarked on a confident solo run and with a commanding finish had Leichhardt leading 2-0 before the clock reached a quarter of an hour. And APIA rampaged on, with Carrick ruled by the success of Colagiuri, stealing the ball from the two-goal man here, although the next moment belonged again to the APIA number 7, and his fine technique, which brought the best of
The remaining 10 home players. Indeed, the next 5 minutes were APIA's very best of the match. Their only stumbling block was City's keeper Todd Clark, who certainly returned to the form that earned him national honours. With Batonya's loss, an exciting newcomer, Vince Colagiuri, almost gave the fans what they'd been waiting for all afternoon. On the stroke of full time against 9 very tired players, Sydney City's Grant Lee made it in a McCulloch. Marcelo, Colagiuri. Colagiuri, what a goal! Vince Colagiuri. He saves those for when he plays against me. He did it in the playoffs last year, and he's done it again this year. Vince Colagiuri, the 19-year-old, hit that one from a good 25 yards out, and McPherson might have heard it, but he didn't see it. 12 minutes gone in the second half. Leichhardt 3, Marconi 1. Segli. Now Batonya. Batonya's had a strong game. Colagiuri. Waiting there from Lee Sterry. Still Colagiuri. Park erupts as Leichhardt go 2-1 ahead. And the players go across to congratulate the youngster Vince Colagiuri. He left Lee Sterry standing, and it really was a perfect cross. And Caban, with the simplest opportunities, gives us this scoreline of Leichhardt 2, Marconi 1. The goal coming after 43 minutes. Caban, his third goal of the season. Caban. McCulloch. Gina. Overlap. Colagiuri. He's second. Another work goal there from Marconi. 15 minutes into the second half. Vince Colagiuri gets his second goal of the afternoon. The goal there started by the move involving Tommy McCulloch, and a good cross this time by the overlapping fullback Carlo Spina. Vince Colagiuri puts the finishing touch. 16 minutes into the second half. Leichhardt 4, Marconi 1.
Recalls by Terry Greedy, which kept the game scoreless.
APIA goes past his man beautifully. That was Mike O'Shea, left for dead. Beautiful save, and again. And finally, Terry Greedy has to make 3 saves. 2 from Vince Colagiuri, 1 from Jim McBride, and somehow St George escaped.
Next degree. Tonnage. Fadalo. Stewart did well. Still has it. Still has it. And it's almost away by Ristovski. And finally in by Vince Colagiuri.
Ristovski and Bozanic over the ball. Brown making another run on the left, but he balls with Colagiuri on the right. Oh, what a great run from Colagiuri. Looks inside at a shot there, and it's a first goal there for Leichhardt. And would you believe it, Darren Stewart scores against his old club. Colagiuri made the space on the right, the low cross, and Stewart draws first blood for Leichhardt after only 10 minutes.
Centro di Merlo verso Colagiuri. Respinta difettosa, palla Colagiuri, rete! Colagiuri ha pareggiato al 9 minuto. L'Acqui ha pareggiato con Colagiuri.
Perla a Paganelli, siamo sulla metà campo, Paganelli in avanti a Colagiuri, sempre controllato dal terzino Peirone, tunnel di Colagiuri, bellissima l'azione di Colagiuri. Colagiuri sul fondo si libera di Peirone. Cerca di liberarsi anche
Sulla sinistra Colagiuri in lotta con Palumbo. Colagiuri riesce a dribblare molto bene due difensori, su cui prova di farlo laterale e viene rimessa da Colagiuri che
la recupera Tacchino, la dà a Ferla. Ferla avanza, mette al centro, libero Merlo. Colagiuri e rete, l'Acqui ha pareggiato in questo istante.
la squadra di casa è nettamente più forte dei termali, che oggi è calata, e questo ha portato questo grosso risultato. Ecco di testa Aime che dà a Colagiuri, che mette ancora in rete. 5-3 al 36. Lì Paganelli è preso in contropiede, però riesce a recuperare la palla, però ancora ecco che spunta Cirnigliaro che dà verso Colagiuri. Ecco Colagiuri che avanza e tira, e 5-4. Siamo al 43esimo, è Colagiuri che realizza la interessante ancora per la squadra di casa. Vediamo Cirnigliaro che dà una palla a Colagiuri, ed è Scaramuzzi che non riesce a fermare Colagiuri. Ecco Colagiuri che va via molto bene, e il proprio avversario mette la palla in fallo laterale. Vediamo Colagiuri che riesce ad andare via sulla linea dell'out e toccare a Paganelli libero, che insacca. Al 16esimo minuto l'Acqui passa in vantaggio con Paganelli che ha ricevuto un traversone da Susenna fuori dell'area. Susenna è pronto per il tiro, ma all'ultimo momento provvidenzialmente un difensore libera, mezza rovesciata di Colagiuri e bellissimo gol dell'Acqui, che al 29esimo del primo tempo raddoppia con Colagiuri. Mezza rovesciata di Colagiuri e bellissimo gol dell'Acqui, che al...
Zoran Ilic and Vince Colagiuri in a good build-up down the right, and Andy Harper on target for his 11.
And more money than our top boys do here. On the weekend, Peter Vlahos caught up with Vince's father, Rocky Colagiuri.
Vincent is enjoying, now he's been there 2 months, he's enjoying a taste of professional soccer over there. He's with the Regina, third division club from Reggio Calabria. He had a trial with them and he went very well, and he became a part of the squad the following day, and they've been doing some training. The first 3 weeks they went to Viterbo in the mountains, and then they came back to Reggio Calabria where the headquarters are, and they've been training twice a day, 9 to 11 in the morning and 5 to 7 in the afternoon. And he's enjoying it very much. Regina bought some new players this year of very, very vast experience, like Vento, Spinoza, Bella Spica. They're all players that be playing in Serie A, first division, and this can only benefit Vincent's football.
Was Vince always interested in going and trying his luck now in Italy?
Very, very keen. He always was very keen to try his luck in Italy. He's having a bit of problem with the, in regard, as you know, Vincent is an Australian-born player, and in Italy, only first division teams are allowed to have foreign players. Therefore, Vincent has to become Italian first, and then when this is accomplished, then he has to go in the army. So there's a couple of problems that we have to overcome. but in the meantime, he's getting a lot of experience, which is very valuable to him. He wants to stick at it and go in the army and then continue his career there. But if he wants to come back, he can only come back as a better player.
Rocky.
Whipping this one across the face of goal, away there by Pedro Rosic. Still Jean-Paul Marini cutting this one back. Equaliser, Vince Colagiuri. John Kranovic is eventually beaten. The goal coming 27 minutes into the second half. Robbie Wheatley had gone forward to help join the attack. And Wheatley there is the player who's spreading wide for Jean-Paul Marini. Rosic clears it once, straight back to Jean-Paul Marini, brings it further in. Across the face of goal, and Vince Colagiuri is Johnny on the spot. But Vince Colagiuri's fourth goal of the season. But it really sets it up now, Paul.
Yes.
It's Colagiuri. Now Fred de Jong behind the defence, the offside flag stayed down, still Fred de Jong, lifting that one forward. Here's Colagiuri. Colagiuri, 3-0. Vince Colagiuri beats Mike Gibson. Marconi fans celebrate. Vince Colagiuri, goal number 3 of the season. Goal coming off for 70 minutes. Good unselfish work here from Fred de Jong. Lifted that one forward. Jerry Gomez was also in there, but Colagiuri took his time, picked his spot. Gibson got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. Unselfish run here from Fred de Jong. Cut inside, looked up. Jerry Gomez had made a run forward. He couldn't pick him out. Colagiuri coming in, goal at his mercy, puts it past Mike Gibson. And 70 minutes gone. He's been coming off as Cauldron got in there first. Now Vince Colagiuri. Some space in which to operate on that far side. Still Colagiuri. Nastevski up in support. Nastevski! Nastevski, his second goal.
The edge of the area. He curls this one in, and the shot comes in, and saved by, and it's going to be put in by Marconi. And it's Colagiuri who's the scorer. That shot coming in from Gray, it was parried away, and the game is but 2 minutes old, and the coming from the competition leaders. The cross-in was a good one. It wasn't cleared successfully by Just. There was the free opportunity for Ian Gray, and not taken cleanly by Raponi, and in to snaffle up the crumbs, Colagiuri.
Marini, such a good cross of the ball. Vince Colagiuri's first goal of the season. He's only been on as a substitute for about 3 minutes. And immediately gets his name on the score sheet. But Jean-Paul Marini, who's such a good cross of the ball, judged this one to perfection. And Vince Colagiuri climbed so well, nodded it down, and past Steve Watson. Vince Colagiuri will be the first person to appreciate the cross from Jean-Paul Marini. And Vince Colagiuri, the substitute, has come on, increases Marconi's lead, and 23 get in the action now.
Catholis, Nastevski, good save, Grigic. In it goes anyway from Colagiuri. 3-0. 32 minutes into the second half. Vince Colagiuri gets his 6th goal of the season. And there was about 5 players queuing up for that one. Brought out a good save, did Nastevski from Grigic. But it could have been Gomez or Colagiuri that put it away. It was Vince Colagiuri. And as we've seen so often, once they get the goal, Marconi, they're capable of getting another 2 or 3 for good measure.
up, Fred de Jong and David Lowe. Van Egmond, the player who was signed at the start of this season. Gray, the midfield dynamo for Marconi, and Peter Catholis named as a substitute. So a packed Parramatta Stadium. They were expecting a record crowd. Certainly last year's NSL final, which attracted a crowd of over 23,000, seems it's been beaten here this afternoon. Players now wait as the crowd rise for the playing of the national anthem.
Gary Van Egmond, number 3 John Porter Marini, number 4 Steve Caldron, number 5 Robbie Wheatley, number 6 Ian Gray, number 7 Tommy McCulloch, number 8 Vince Colagiuri, number 9 Fred de Jong, number 10 Paul Ocon, and number 11 David Lowe. On the bench for Marconi, number 12 Peter Catholis, number 14 Jerry Gomez, the coach is Bertie Mariani.
They need some backup in the centre. Colagiuri and George Adivizos, and it's Vince Colagiuri. He gets the ball inside, Gunning shoots, great goal. Jeffrey Gunning has done it 35 minutes into the second half. The combination of Vince Colagiuri, Klaus Ocon, Seymour, the through ball, Colagiuri's onside, he can put it away, he does! Vince Colagiuri has done it for Marconi. With 2 minutes of play left in the match, Vince Colagiuri made the run through the centre. But it was a lovely ball through.
For years, the game has marvelled at the magic produced by 4 times world champions Brazil. The natural skills possessed by the South Americans have so often set the standard. Quite simply, the Brazilian yellow shirt has few equals. Now, however, a new set of disciples are using Brazilian training methods to make a splash of their own. The Pacific island of Fiji has an undistinguished football history. So the Fijian Football Association have employed 2 young Australians to coach their under-17 side. Vincenzo Colagiuri and Leon Gardikiotis are both graduates of Brazil's premier coaching school, the Football Academy of Excellence in Rio de Janeiro.
These kids have a very interesting parallel with Brazilian kids. A lot of them have some great raw potential. They demonstrate a lot of carefree expression. They're not bottled up. They are like sponges when it comes to learning. They have a great hunger for the game and a great enthusiasm.
The director in charge of the Fijian under-17 team is equally enthusiastic.
It's a lot of flair. In Fijian football, is a lot of flair, you see, and people love to see, new innovations in football. So I think a mixture of Brazilian and the Fijian type of football, would come out of this kind of training.
In the past, the Fijian FA would have enlisted the help of the Oceania Confederation for coaching assistance. But the poor showing of Fijian teams is now blamed on years of short-term planning. Their FA have gambled on instigating a long-term schedule to raise standards at all levels of the Fijian game. The result is a 4-year contract for the Australians. Colagiuri and Gardikiotis recently returned to their native country for 2 weeks of intensive training. Based at St Joseph's College on Sydney's exclusive North Shore, the squad had the school's facilities to themselves as the college students enjoyed their holidays. This allowed them to focus on the task ahead, qualification for the World Under-17 Championship Finals in November. It could be a giant stride for the hosts of the qualifying tournaments.
Okay. We are basing our hopes in this team to prove to us, that such a step that we have taken, a very expensive step, is in the right direction. Now, the success of this team means, that whether we are going to continue such programs.
Although the will be using Brazilian methods, the 2 coaches feel their approach can be adapted to suit any team worldwide.
The backbone of our principles and philosophies stem from Brazil, but now we've added various bits from Europe where we know it would help the development of the kids and give them more of a chance to expand their understanding and apply things on the park.
Whilst the physical preparation for the team is often rigorous, one aspect of training has given the team some light relief.
You can see the training has been put into some rhythmic nature, and it's like the Brazilian samba, as it were, and the Fijians have their mekes, which is very rhythmic, and to adopt this kind of coaching, it gives them a little bit of pleasure also,
Certain similarities already exist between the Brazilian and Fijian styles, but the two new coaches believe they can now change the face of football throughout the Pacific region and even Australia, and follow the example of other emerging football nations.
Over the last 10 years, the foundations of success in these countries, the Middle East countries and Africa, has been based on Brazilian coaches being there and teaching the philosophies and methodology of Brazil. They've done it there, so there is no reason why it cannot be done in the Oceania region.
With the Fiji squad currently putting their footballing education to the test in the Oceania Under-17 qualifiers, Colagiuri and Garikiotis know that success will be judged only by results. We'll catch up with them to find out how they're doing in a few weeks' time.
As a tropical paradise, the South Pacific island, beautiful beaches, high-class resorts, and exotic plant life attract visitors from all over the world, keen to sample the most Fijian of customs, walking on hot coals. Merid is perhaps best known for success at Sevens rugby. Fiji, of course, are the current world champions. But now football is at last making a name for itself in its own right. It's been, though, quite a struggle. Years. And it's followed by those Fijians of Indian background who make up more than 40% of the population.
The only thing that rugby is excelling on is its sense. And so in terms of the popularity in that respect, naturally in this part of the hemisphere with Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Fiji, but we are not far off in terms of support here locally.
But winning wider respect from rival nations is something else again. To achieve that goal, an ambitious long-term plan is underway. It's Fiji's national under-17 squad. The idea is to keep these players together for as long as possible. Under-23s right up to the senior team. With this continuity, things hopefully will blossom in the new millennium.
And we are working towards it. But no doubt by the year 2006 World Cup in this part of the world.
One or two variations.
That confidence is shared by some, but not all of those coaches at school will be to identify and nurture young talent.
Strategy we're going to use against Vanuatu.
The coaches themselves recently underwent a but are under no illusions as to the size of the task ahead of them.
We have not been exposed to the countries like and other countries, even New Zealand and Australia, we are not up to them. If you talk about the Pacific region,
at the moment what Fiji is doing is we are at a developing stage. If we are at the moment, I think in time to come we will be a team to reckon.
The first opportunity, Fiji were hosts for the Oceania Zone qualifiers in the Under-17 World Cup. Australia, a team who they have yet to beat. Urged on by the home support of this penalty. Two in as many minutes soon after the restart, and that was that. All hopes of a major upset evaporated in those 2 minutes. The Fijians had blown it.
Well, definitely we did. I mean, we lapsed in concentration just for 2 minutes. That professional edge that our boys are still acquiring. But tremendous effort by the...
They did indeed improve to such an extent that they reached the tournament final on Australia 5-0 to the favourites. But far from being discovered burning coals to achieve it.
I wouldn't even call it a development. Building a Fijian now looking back.
good skills like the Brazilians, then this is your chance. From September 21st, the Football Academy of Excellence Brazilian Soccer Coaching Program is coming to Wollongong. The 24 sessions include videos, free t-shirts, certificates and tickets to NSL games. The program is open to boys and girls of all skill levels aged 7 to 17. Ring these numbers today to book a place at the Academy.
October 96, I got a call. I was working in the States and my now partner Leon mentioned this idea of wanting to form an academy endorsed by the Brazilians. He'd gone over there and done his coaching diploma. They were happy with him and he liked what he saw. So they said, why don't you start an arm of the Brazilian Football Academy in Australia? And he called me and I said, let's give it a go. And we've been going about 16 months and going from strength to strength. You see Brazilian players, the famous ones, they move like very silky and very smoothly, and that's because they've instilled that sort of technique and rhythm at a young age. You can see behind me they're shuffling, okay, a lot of ball work, feeling the ball movement skills, even without the shoes. Again, the rhythmic warm-up, where they're doing all different rhythmic exercises in unison. It's a very fundamental part of the Brazilian way.
Football academy is really good. Learn a lot of foot skills and nutrition, psychological, things like that.
We learn good foot skills and it's very exciting, fun. It's good, I get to play with friends. Foot skills, heading, passing, crossing, moves.
Basically, up until now, kids who play with the ball have not been encouraged to do that in a game. And if a child tried a movement and lost the ball, someone would scream at them and they wouldn't have the confidence to try it again. Right? A very important essence of the Brazilian way is encouraging self-expression. And so we do that all the time, encouraging them to try these moves until they become automatic. It's not showing off. These are important factors of football, and if you know how to dribble properly and beat players, it's an important weapon. A lot of these kids are enjoying their football and they're improving, and not everybody's going to be a superstar. Right? But with this important training that we're giving them, right, we're giving each child the possibility to extend their maximum potential and enjoy it. So whether they become a superstar or not, they're going to enjoy football and carry it on in later life and also instill it in their kids.
In Australia, it's been supported by Bill's leading academy. Hears more from its directors, both of whom are former professional players.
Okay, 2 years ago I went to Brazil and I took part in their senior coaching course, which is controlled by the Football Academy in Rio de Janeiro. It's run by Professor Neto, who is the right-hand man of Mr. Havelange, the president of FIFA in Brazil. And it's the coaching staff there, people like Professor Leal, who was the under-20 World Cup coach, Lazzaroni, Mr. Lazzaroni, who was the senior coach, and various other famous people like Didi, Zadzinho, etc. They take part in the academy. Basically, we thought this is an opportunity to bring their style of football, their training methods to Australia and produce something that this country has never seen before.
Every culture brings a certain slant, and the Brazilians are no exception. They bring a refreshing slant to football which we can all take and really nurture in our children. We have the potential here because of such a hybrid of cultures that we can bring in that carefree expression of the Brazilians and add it to the English element that we have, the European element that we have, to breed a better player. So you can always learn.
We are as good as anyone around the world, but we're still lacking two very important things. Tactically, the understanding of our place, and technically, if we take away a percentage with 20% at that level, the rest of our kids at youth level still lack and are a long way behind what the other countries like Brazil
and a lot of the European countries in technical and tactical understanding of the game?
A vast improvement in wanting to try things, and that's the important thing. You know, as the saying goes, the percentage of scoring without shooting is very low. We encourage the children to try different elements that we practice, right? Do it in game situations as many times as possible. The more they do it, the more it's going to come natural, and they're going to do it in the game, the more successful they're going to be.
Are they saying to you now that they've tried it, it's starting to work for them? Are they getting greater confidence?
Most definitely, and also the fact of their rhythmic exercises are accentuating that improvement, right? The more they're able to control their body movements and then their coordination with the ball, then the more confidence they're going to have in situations in a game to try these things.
And if you would like more information about the Football Academy of Excellence, call these Sydney numbers 9526 7426 or 9526 7401, and we'll have an in-depth look at some of the youngsters involved in the academy in the next couple of weeks.
Technique. Now Soccer New South Wales has addressed the issue with a FIFA-approved psychomotor testing system, and it's set to change the way Australian children are taught to play.
2 months ago, Soccer New South Wales put 600 boys and girls between the ages of 11 and 14 through their paces to learn more about where our soccer players are in relation to the rest of the world. The results made stark reading. In terms of fitness, strength and speed,